Hi there, welcome. Today we're going to look at a really interesting product that I really got for motorcycle camping, largely because it packs so small, but also because it is a really unique stove idea in that you don't need to carry fuel. So you don't have to mess around with white gas, you don't have to carry propane cylinders that you're going to have to pack out of the wild anyway. Everything you need you can find right around the woods, in your yard. These stoves use biomass. The product is called Solo Stove, made by the company of the same name, and it is a really nice design. The stove itself is just unit construction, stainless steel, never going to rust on you. The outside stays relatively cool while you're cooking. It's got nichrome wires in the bottom of the stove for the grate, which can handle tremendous heat. That's what provides the heat electrically when you make your toast in your toaster. So everything about it is properly designed. It contains the ashes in the floor of the stove, so that you don't have to worry about risk from the ashes falling through. This comes packaged like this. It stores up really small. The stove itself right now I think is $69 on sale at Solo Stove and also through Amazon. And from what I hear, they're also available now on Amazon UK, which is pretty cool because before our friends in the UK really had a difficult time getting these without paying a lot of duties and other junk on getting it imported. But in any event, the other thing that I also got with this for $56, which I think is a great value, is a alcohol burner that you can drop right into the stove as well, if you want to use denatured alcohol, if you're in a place where you just don't have any other fuel. But being a biomass stove, you can put pine cones in here, dried wood, grasses, just about anything that will burn you can use in here. The way the stove works, it heats up the outer skin of the stove, or actually the inner skin, which causes convection. And as that cool air comes in from the bottom, it exits through these vents right around the top of the flame. And what that does is provides a secondary oxygen feed into the wood gas that's coming off the burning wood that would normally just go away as smoke. But what it's going to do in this case is that extra oxygen is going to cause that to burn again, and you're going to get a nice hot fire. But anyway, back to the accessory kit. What comes in here for your $50+ is tinder on a rope from Light My Fire, which is made from heartwood from Mexico, from a particular species of pine. The pitch content is tremendously high, which makes these really flammable. You also get a wire cable saw, so you can cut up wood should you need to. I haven't actually used this yet, but it feels pretty sharp. This is probably the most important thing. This gives you a very nice windscreen around your stove. It's all aluminum, it's anodized. You can get it to go almost all the way around the stove, so that when you put your pot on there, it's completely shielded from the wind. That's important because if you're in a heavy wind condition, the wind is going to take a lot of the heat away from underneath the pot. This gives it back to you. Again, worth every penny, in my opinion. Packs up nice and small, very light. So, Solo Stove, I think $69. The extra little bits in the kit here, which also come with a fire starter, which we're actually going to use today to light the stove, just to kind of put most of the stuff to use. So what we're going to do is this is the first time this stove has been used. We're going to heat up some water, make a cup of tea, and just put it through its paces. But I really like the idea of these wood gas stoves. What I'm going to use here is a fire starter, homemade, cotton balls. So what we're going to do, get some small tinder. All of this biomass that I picked up here was all in the yard. We did some spring or fall cleaning this weekend, and I just grabbed some of the dried wood that was laying around. Some dried leaves in there. Gonna get this down underneath this stuff a little bit. Actually, I don't need this ring on there right now. That'll make my life a little easier. Okay. Let's give this fire starter a whirl. Probably see we now got a decent little flame going. So this portion of the stove has gotten pretty hot up here, but down below these holes you can still pick the stove up and hold it. It's amazing the difference between how hot the metal is up here versus just down here. That gives you an indication how much air is actually getting pulled through that stove. Put our tea water on and see how long this takes. Nice thing about this stove versus some other ones is that you don't have to remove the pot to continue feeding it wood. You've got a nice little slot here on the edge to continuously feed material in while you're cooking. And that's huge because it leaves your hands free while you're doing this, instead of holding the pot or setting the pot off, which the whole time the pot's not on the flame, you're not applying heat to it, so it's going to affect your cook time. If you notice, the smoke is starting to die down a lot. If you can see inside here at the fire, it's really burning well. I just put some fresh wood in, so it's going to smoke a little bit until they get going. So anyway, this stove is great for motorcycle camping. Again, you don't need to bring any fuel with you. You can just find pine cones, wood, debris, anything like that to burn if you need to. Also pretty handy to have around as a backup cooking means during power outages and other events that might cause you to lose basic services. Again, you don't have to worry about a fuel source. You don't have to worry about a propane canister or white gas. I have a Coleman Peak 1 that I've used for years and years everywhere. I bought it because you could use unleaded fuel in it, which I figure I already got that on the bike. It would be pretty helpful. But never once have I actually used anything but Coleman fuel in it. Oh, we've got a rolling boil already at 2 minutes 40 seconds. That's a pretty quick cup of tea. Alright, there we have it. Plenty of life in the stove left if I wanted to continue cooking a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, this is the Solo Stove along with the accessory kit. Highly recommend both, and they'll both be on my motorcycle when I'm going out for more than a day or two. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm going to enjoy my tea.